Chat, hello. Yes, now I'm sure you've already noticed that this game, unlike usual, I am rocking the default Spider-Man skin because I have a confession to make. I have been playing Spider-Man for maybe a week, maybe two, not very long now, as I am basically conducting research for the Why I Love Spider-Man video. And as I sort of start to learn his more bread and butter combos, I spend a few games inting only to realize that I do not yet deserve any drip, I do not yet deserve any clout for me to actually equip these skins that I have purchased and it be meaningful at all. I have to acquire at least some degree of skill on Spider-Man. So in these first few games, I'm really trying to work on some of Spider-Man's most basic combos in an effort to basically increase the skill ceiling of what I've got going on with the character. Now I'm doing some practice with these combos, yes, because I want to get better at them so that I can talk more about them in the Spider-Man video, but also I want footage for it. I could talk about the combos in the practice range, that's an option, but I feel like me doing freeze frames of like real in-context combos is probably going to be more useful, because you can see, you know, what I do, but also the application, sort of what angles to come from, the speed, the timing, etc., stuff like that. And so some of the combos that I start to really learn, one of the basic things that I'm really starting to get a hang of here with this first game that I've got going on is actually using the web strike later on in the combo. I've really sort of defaulted to the low skill Spider-Man combo, which is, I mean, you hit someone with the web tracer and you immediately use your get over here just as a gap closer to start the fight. But actually Spider-Man really struggles with damage numbers, and so you really want the damage that you deal to be meaningful rather than be a lot. And so a lot of good Spider-Man players that I see will actually use the get over here ability while, you know, sort of attached with a web tracer to activate web strike really quite late on in the fight. I mean, it'll probably be the second or third to last blow that you deal to your opponent before you actually secure an elimination. And that gives Spider-Man that sort of, ironically, that gives Spider-Man that stickiness that he really needs to really effectively frag out and get kills instead of just kind of tickling someone and leaving, for one. And that is an important part of Spider-Man's combos, to really transfer yourself from just randomly dealing 150 damage and leaving to actually showing up and having some degree of a kill threat, you know, on a target, for one. And then for two, in my Spider-Man video, I actually talked about really canceling the downswing on the web swing as late as possible so as to generate as much speed as possible, right? I mean, you want to be moving around quickly. But overall, I've actually been canceling the web swing really a lot earlier than usual, especially whenever I'm starting at mid-air, because it allows me to change my trajectory so much and so quickly, and it still gets a lot of speed, right? I mean, it can be pretty significantly reduced, but you have so much speed with that ability that honestly you can afford to go a little bit more slowly and still be really quite difficult to hit. This game, what I really tried to do here is basically use my web swings just like obsessively, right? I mean, I try to use them as gap closures, I try to use them as mix-up options, I try to use them, I mean, obviously, you know, to cover ground and to web positioning and things like that. But Spider-Man is just so intensive on where you are that I feel like you need to be in an optimal situation or an optimal position, like almost constantly on Spider-Man, and you have the mobility to be exactly where you want to be at all times. And so honestly, it's not unrealistic to do, and with me sort of spamming my web swings like I've got going on here, it's closer to effective, right? It's not perfectly effective. I'm really trying to learn to combine some of the wall crawling passive, because with jumping off, you know, and kind of swapping between running and crawling, you actually have a surprising amount of movement options while you're crawling. And if you really and truly tweak out while you're on that wall, you can be pretty seriously difficult to hit. But obviously, you know, Spider-Man has preferable movement options. But another thing I talked about in the Why I Love Spider-Man video is resource management. And yes, you do get a lot of web swings, and yes, they have a lot of uses, but you don't have an infinite number of them. You can't just constantly be web swinging. You have to have some degree of downtime on Spider-Man. And right, the good Spider-Man players basically allocate their 3 webs, right? They ensure that they can get in and get out with those 3 webs, and they spend the time that they don't have web swings active walking to a health pack, you know, or getting in an advantageous position, because for you to just be an effective fighter in Marvel Rivals at large, you know, you have to be in the right place at the right time and manage your abilities correctly, etc., etc. And if you're forced to have downtime, you might as well do what you can to force some type of upside into that downtime. You know what I mean? Because with Spider-Man, you need to have extreme uptime. I got MVP on my most recent Spider-Man game, and it was because I spent the entire game just completely tweaking out. I mean, the second I got out of spawn, I did the absolute fastest roll that I could to get back to the front. If I killed a target, I wasn't sort of considering my positioning or considering laying an ambush. I just started immediately flying around and trying to find the next target. And I must admit that was really only made possible because I had a pretty menacing front line. My tanks were really quite the issue. A bit of a tank gap in this game, despite, you know, my ability to grab a couple of frags throughout the course of the game. But as my Spider-Man gameplay improves, I look forward to hopefully unlocking the next skin. Now, let me know what you guys think. What is the next skin for Spider-Man? And when I say that, I mean, like, I have 0 drip right now. I have 0 Rise of Kingdoms power. But as I learn a few of these combos, as I get my accuracy game up a little bit, as I get deeper into my Spider-Man arc, hopefully I'll be getting, you know, noticeably better. And so what is level 2, right? What is the second drippiest Spider-Man skin? I'm already on 1. Obviously I can't go up to, you know, any of his legendaries yet, because he has quite a good, pretty seriously good legendaries. Right now I'm thinking maybe the Scarlet Spider skin, like the red, I guess I should say darker red reskin that you get that kind of inverts his color palette. Not necessarily because it's a bad skin, I like the skin, but because it's just a lower rarity, right? Spider-Man has a lot of epics and things like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Spider-Man skins, where I should head with that, and ultimately how you feel about Spider-Man as a hero. I'm working on Why I Love Spider-Man, which is set to release this upcoming Saturday. I'm trying to get out all of these Why I Love videos on Saturdays, because I have a lot to talk about with Spider-Man, and I've already completed a lot of things. Like, I mean, the Why I Love videos oftentimes they're just a description of the character, right? And so I've already got things like basic ability breakdown. I've spent a pretty good amount of time talking about mindset and positioning and basically what should be going on in your head in the downtime while you're playing Spider-Man. But I'm coming up on the combo part of the video, and honestly, I'm totally unsure on how lengthy to make this video, because on one hand, I could sit here and I could defer out to better Spider-Man players than myself, and I could talk about every combo that the character is capable of and make a half-hour video that I have to do a month of editing to do. I mean, that's possible, but at the same time, I mean, right, we've got an upload schedule here, you know what I mean? We got to crank these videos out. I've already got my eyes set on the Daredevil. His release is coming out really quite soon. I started to see teasers and trailers for him starting today. And so as soon as he comes out, I'm going to be checking him out and seeing what he does. Because honestly, with the release of Angela, I was not thrilled. I did not love the character, despite the Why I Love title of the series. That was not how I felt about the character. I do like her. I'm glad that she's in the game, but she's just a little bit too much for me. She's got a lot going on. And I prefer a bit of simplicity, which I know is ironic, right? I mean, I'm playing Spider-Man right now, as you can see, but you know, we'll see what we do. But that is all the time that I have for today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and let me know how you feel about the next Spider-Man skin and the Why I Love Spider-Man video at large. I'll see you guys Saturday. Have fun. See you later.
Spider Fist is ready to punch! Spider Fist is ready to punch!
We are undefeatable!
cover. We got a sniper. Nice. Gonna get sticky.
Only 60 seconds left. Dog is the other side.
On one bug his system couldn't beat. Spider-Fist is ready to punch. Watch out, they're headed our way. Gonna get sticky.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Spider-Fist is ready to punch.
Dog is the other side. You'll have to keep fighting until we have the
Next, the sniper.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Gonna get sticky.
Never miss!
Hey, we make a pretty good team. I'm not a vengeful person, but today I'll make an exception. Hey, we make a pretty good team. Gonna get sticky. Sure, those are bad guys. We're off the record tapping machine. Jeez, we needed her and Spider. I don't think I like these odds.